Well, hey everyone, welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie. I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. Today we're going to be talking about Tales of Aria, both First Edition and Unlimited for Flesh and Blood. We're going to do a market update and see is it worth it to open up the boxes and see where the market is going and heading in those things. If you want to support the channel, you can go to patreon.com/KitchenTableTCG, where I give you access to a collection tracker that utilizes this data and allows you to track the value of your collection in real time whenever I make a video like this. It also gets you a discount code to MinMaxGamesFab.com. MinMax is going to be at the Vegas stuff this weekend, so they don't have a whole lot of singles on their website. If you're looking for singles, you can also use my TCG Player affiliate link that is in the description of my videos to support the channel. Let's hop into it and see what's going on with Tales of Aria. Today's conversation is going to be very, very much focused on volume. The volume of Tales of Aria is just not there. There's a lot of, take a look at sealed boxes. There's just not a lot moving, to be honest. Unlimited, 8 boxes moved today, but Unlimited, it's like less than 1 box a day, sometimes up to 6 days ahead of time with no boxes sold. Other than that, it's like 1 box a day. First edition Tales of Aria sitting at $80 on TCG Player, and a little bit more volume on the first edition boxes, but still a few days here from the 29th to the 6th with no boxes sold. From the 6th to the 5th, no boxes sold. The volume is just interesting to watch. It just doesn't seem like the demand is really here, and that is what's allowing these boxes to come to market. We were at $90. That's what's allowing these boxes to come to market and just sit at the $80 price point, because there's just so many of them. Look at how many boxes are at $80 when you only sell 1 box a day, or sometimes multiple days without a box. It allows sellers to continue to list, and they don't get eaten up. And so the price continues to hold at that $80 price point or trend downwards. And the same thing for cases. I mean, cases are, the sales are very, very few. 1 on the 4th, 1 on the 6th, 1 on last month 27th, 21st. There's like 1 every 5 days selling here, 1 every 4 or 5 days for first edition cases. And unlimited cases are just, they don't matter. Nobody's buying them. Haven't had a sale since 5/16. Before then, there's 1 case of unlimited Flesh and Blood sold for Tales of Aria, 1 case a month. Sold listings on TCG Player. So it's just not in demand. It's not something that a lot of people are really gravitating towards. And that's because we're in a player's market, and the players aren't really utilizing these cards very much. And that's told by the singles. So let's hop in and see first edition, what's going on. Fabled, sitting at like 235 for Corsham. This has held up pretty well. Again, if you want to get into volume, it has held up well. The volume is still not super high here. Let me show you the volume of Corsham. You still have just like days between sales, which is probably good, because you don't want this card to be super expensive for people who do want it to play. But there's also 57 listings, so there's a lot of these cards listed. More cold foils than unlimited. Interesting to see that too. But your cold foil, the low price right now is around $235, and that's kind of last sold listing as well. So super interesting to see that. That's where the Corsham is. Looking at your legendaries, down 3% this week. Crown of Seeds at 150. We'll see if that holds up with the meta shift happening. Heart of Ice at 165. Shock Charmers at 110. Rampart of the Ram's Head at 165. New Horizon at 175, and Spellbound Creepers at 170. Now, I will say, if this new meta shakes up the way that I particularly think it's going to, you may see some of these ice cards increase in value if that becomes the meta, and if people dive into playing that meta. These ice cards could be really good against these new Uprising cards, and that could cause a little bit of shift in price points here on the legendaries. All in all, though, really no changes, nothing really to talk about. That's like the story of this entire thing. There's not really much going on. The cold foils, the Majestic average is down because of Pulse of Candlehold at 38. You've got Pulse of Voltaven at 38. These are like eBay. If you're shopping around, you can usually get them around these prices. They got a little bit dry for a while, but now they're starting to come back to market. There's a couple people definitely targeting these for buyouts I've seen on Facebook. So It'll be interesting to see if they continue to do so. I assume that they will. But you know, they kind of trickle in on sold listings around 38, 39, 40. Winter's Whale at 45. That obviously was Bravo Star Show. Voltaire, Dustblade's also trending back down a little bit. There was another buyout of these up to the $52 price point, and now we're seeing it retrace a little bit. All in all, though, not a whole lot to talk about. Your average down 13%. Your commons are balancing out a little bit. You still have commons in the $3, $4, $5 range, and as you're thinking about that with Everfest, you know, the collector side of it seems like they're willing to. Anyway, we're at $3, $4, or $5 on a lot of those cold foil commons. But Deep Blue at $13.50, one of the coolest cards. I think a really, really good card for commoner if you believe in that format. That's a card I would start making sure you have, because that card's going to be really good in commoner. All right, let's continue. Channel Lake Frigid at $165. That's the alt art. Again, nothing really to talk about here. This is going to be a little bit of a boring video. The Majestic's not really doing much either. You still have Channel Lake Frigid at $21 for the rainbow foil, Blizzard at $11, and then really no value nothing over $4 in the rainbow foil side of the Majestics other than those two cards. And then if you look at the regular Majestics, same thing, we're down 9%, really no value other than Channel Lake Frigid and Blizzard. Even on this side, very few things. Pulse of Volthaven, Pulse of Candlehold, and Pulse of Eisenloft. Really the only cards, I guess some of the weapons too, like Winter's Whale. Cards over $4 are scarce here. You've got Channel Lake Frigid and Blizzard. So those are the cards you're really looking for here. Your average price is $1.81, which puts us down 9% from last week. And then looking at the rares, we won't spend a whole lot of time here. Looking at the rares, TCG low, average price is 34 cents on the rainbow foil. And average price for the regular rares is going to be pretty cheap at 8 cents. Common rainbow foil, average price for the common rainbow foils on TCG Player currently is 24 cents. So let's get into our EV calculation here. You're looking at, if you buy a box, you open up 40 boxes, your price that you get back, including the Majestics through the Fables, are going to be $73.92. If you just open up a case, you don't hit that Fable, you'll be sitting at $68 to 4 cents. And if you just open the Majestics, the rares, and the cold foil common, so you do hit a cold foil common in your box, you're sitting at $22.68. So all in all, is it worth it to open the boxes? You're not losing a ton of money if you enjoy opening product. And I would say play sealed with this, or play draft, or have fun with your friends. This is not the product I would say to open for value for sure. Also, the rate at which the singles are selling is so low that it would take you some time to get your money back. Stores are that's probably what stores are looking at, because it's not necessarily about is the EV there for a store. It's like, how long is it going to take to sell some of the singles? And if no one's playing the heroes, that's what it is. So, Tales Unlimited boxes sitting at 68. We already went through that. We already went through Corsham. Unlimited Corsham sitting at 120. This is down 14%. Let me show it to you again, just for posterity. There is a couple of them available at that price point, 120. And then it hops up to 125, and then 130. Again, sold listings on this. You're looking at, hasn't been one since the 3rd. It is now the 7th. Before then it was the 31st. Before then it was the 25th. So you're looking like one every 3 to 4 to 5 days of sold listings on Corsham. Volume, super important. Looking at the legendaries, down 11%. Finally starting to see these come down a little bit, although Rampart of the Ram's Head still 157, New Horizon 141, Spellbound Creepers 125, Crown of Seeds and Heart of Ice taken down to 137. So that's really what's doing it. But again, we're in a kind of a lull spot right now. There's not a ton of deck building going on in the United States. The events right now in the United States are not generating a lot of deck building. So people are playing the decks that they had, or they're playing a little bit more casual formats right now. I think that's kind of another thing that's happening. We'll see this is not a huge hype event cycle right now. So your Majestics are a little bit more expensive in Unlimited on the average as a result of having Rainbow Foil, Winter's Whale, and the weapons and Dustblade. So you're still down 7% to $4.33. Blizzard going up again. I think with a lot of the uprising spoilers, people are targeting some of those ice cards. You see some of like the Ice Lexi stuff kind of going up as well. We'll see what happens there. It was super interesting to see how that shakes out. I tend to think that's where the meta is going to head. Oak and Old also up a little bit this week. So super interesting to see all that. Majestics, yeah, I mean, they're all following the same kind of trend here. There's not a whole lot to say thing to thing. You've got Channel Lake Frigida, you know, which is slightly down but holding true. Blizzard actually losing some value in the non-foil side, but still the most expensive cards in the set by far. And yeah, that's it. You know, Winter's Whale, Volta, you know, you've got a couple bucks here and there. Your average price point is just under $2, down 6%. So not a whole lot of value in the rainbow foil rares or commons. Let's get to the EV. You're sitting at about 64 bucks if you include the legendaries and the rares. Let's see if this includes the Fable. I can never remember. It does not include the Fable. If you want to include the Fable, you can add $3 to that to make it $67. Same thing. I mean, if you're looking to open up boxes, I don't think this is a play. I mean, the volume's so low. I think your goal here should be to have some fun and play some sealed or draft if you're looking at Tales of Aria. And stores, I mean, run draft events instead of trying to, you know, open boxes for singles, because the volume for singles just isn't there. Tales of Aria was a really fun draft. Sealed was kind of heavy towards Briar, but it's pretty fun to draft, so maybe run that if you're a store owner, or if you're looking, you know, to get a play group together, do that. Anyway, that is Tales of Aria. Sorry it's not super interesting. I just want to be consistent in our updating. Hope you have yourself a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to the people around you, and we'll see you again next video.